11:06, so we're going to go ahead and get started without her, and hopefully she'll pop on. My co-moderator, Jacque Van Houten, past president of many things, currently serving as past president of KWLA. I'm Jennifer Kennedy, the KWA Communications Director, and we've kind of modeled these virtual meetups on the Ohio Department of Education. They were doing this in Ohio, and we thought, well, that's a great idea. So we're not going to say we stole the idea, but we were inspired by our neighbors. So the plan for today is we're going to have our KWA toy from what year, Christine? 2 years ago? 2017?
2017.
Okay, our 2017 KWA toy is going to share a little bit with us what how she's wrapping up the year or what she's going to take forward. Then we're going to go into some breakout rooms just because there's right now looks like we've got about 17 people. We usually have had around 20, so it's hard to kind of share in a larger group. So we'll split into breakout rooms and chat with each other in smaller groups, and then come back and kind of share out anything that was useful in our small group conversations. So the norms for today are to try and keep your mic muted for the most part, unless we're like in the small groups or you're sharing out. Unmute yourself. You know, by no means don't feel like you can't jump in and say something, but it just helps with feedback. We are trying to stay positive. I know this is a hard time, so it's okay to vent a little bit, but the idea is to encourage and support each other. So try to stay positive and focus on what is working for you. And then also just be cognizant that, you know, there are lots of people in here today. So when you do jump in to talk, kind of keep your comments shorter so that everyone gets a chance to share. So that's the norms. Our topic today is wrapping the year up, and then looking ahead to the future. So kind of the idea was we don't know what the future holds. It could be that we're doing something similar or a mix of in the classroom and doing what we're doing now in the fall. But even if we go back into the classroom like normal, what are some lessons that you've learned? What are you going to keep from this time moving forward? So, and then next week, we kind of went with let's wrap it up. So because we knew people were ending here soon, we'll still meet next week, and we'll kind of, we'll have a different topic. So feel free to join us even if your students are done this Friday or getting soon to be done. But we just kind of wanted to do that wrapping up this week. So, all right, so Christine Hutchins, our 2017 KWA Teacher of the Year, take us away.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me see. Sorry, I just get my speaker view here. I'm just going to look into the camera and not worry about what's happening. I want to say hi to everybody, and I just want to thank KWLA, Jacque, Jennifer for creating this format. I love it. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. I want to say that I have gotten so much love and nurturing from our organization, and I've been with KWLA for years and years and years, and I have been through several different schools. So those of you who've been teaching for a while, maybe you've moved schools and you have different experiences on what places are positive and who's positive and who you trust. Through it all, I want to say that I've always felt really respected and valued through our organization, and I want to thank you guys for having this format, because our school, we still have our our meetings, but they're not run in a way like this where it's user friendly, where we're kind of running the show, talking about what we care about. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope we continue to do this as we move forward. And I just wanted to talk. I have just a few minutes to talk, and I want to take the topic and turn it into something that is probably a top on my mind, and I'm sure it's top on your mind too, which is self-care and mental health. And I think that I've been following, our governor has done such a great job in being such a good role model for us. He has been so positive and kind, and I think the thing that I'm taking away from this is I just want to share with you 4 things that I do that I have been working on for years and years and years. And these 4 tools that have helped me stay sane, and then I'm going to keep doing these. And if anybody wants to collaborate with me, I can help you. So my topic is self-care, and I want to hear what you guys are doing to stay healthy and sane. So the first thing, I'm just going to show you 4 things that I do every day, and I'm sure you do the same thing, but I would like to kind of share and see what you guys do. So the first thing I do every day is I have an old-fashioned notebook like this that everybody has. A lot of you, I'm old school, so I have the old school notebook that I use just to put in my blessings every day. And it's some days are harder than others, but I have a blessing. I always have a picture that I have, and I have the date. I have what's going well with work, what's going well with my health, what's going well, am I having fun, and how are things going with my family. And this is something that's really important for teachers, is reflection. And some days it's hard to find something to put in there. And other days I might have to wait the whole day till I can put something in my reflection journal. But I found that that's something that, thank you, Billy, I love this. It's so basic, but it's so powerful. Like yesterday, I cut out pictures from a magazine that I like, just something pretty that I can look at, because there's so much negativity in the world. And so I have to find what's helpful for me. And I can look back and see trends. The second thing that I've been doing is, we're all at home and we don't have as much, how can I say, we're pretty much all at home. So I've decided that I'm doing some cooking. So I have, I'm learning keto. I don't know if anybody does that it's just a way of cooking, especially for women who are, well, women and men who are trying to have a healthier diet. So I've made different like energy balls to make. They're just ways where you can take different things like coconut oil, coconut butter, almond oil, mix them up with 1 or 2 fruits, and that's something that I've been doing. So I wanted to share that with you. The third thing is I've been doing, I do jazzercise, and I like to do, I have, it's on demand now, so I can't go into my studio, but our studio does, we have jazzercise live. So it's like our students are taking class, whereas I'm taking class with, all my friends from jazzercise. So I really like that. And then the last thing that I'm doing is just old school, but I'm sure we all do it. We're teachers. I'm reading a novel right now. And another KWLA member, Jennifer Houten, she's on the board. She sent me a text. She said, "Hey, Chris, I ordered a couple books extra. Do you want to read a book with me?" So we're having a little miniature girlfriend book club. So it's called Where the Crawdads Sing. And it's kind of a mystery set in North Carolina. And it's about a young girl who's trying to basically live on her own. She doesn't have a family. So that's what I'm doing. So journaling, cooking, jazzercise, and reading. 'Cause I'm trying to stay sane for my students. So, so those are the 4 things, and I really want to hear when we break out what you guys are doing to stay healthy. And I just wanted to show you, I have a picture of myself as a high school senior. I know, I don't know if I look the same, but I've been having a huge amount of empathy for students. So this has been really hard for me this year. And I'm not gonna lie. And I also want to show you my daughter. She's a high school senior. So it's such an emotional time right now. So I think whatever we can do to stay positive. So thank you. And that's kind of what I wanted to share. And I thought maybe I'd like to hear the same from you guys. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, Jennifer, for coordinating this. I know it's been really hard for you because you're teaching and you're trying to do all this to reach out to us. I just think it's so wonderful. So I hope that maybe, extra credit cooking show. Yeah, I like the text here. So
yeah, I
thank you
was
so
just
much.
trying to share some, I have not been cooking as much, but just lots of cool ideas kind of spiraling off, not only kind of what we're doing at home, but also how can we share that out with our students too, because they need some self-care too, you know? So I think the idea, I've seen, I think it was, if you are a Spanish teacher, I highly recommend the Facebook group Spanish Teachers in the US. And I've seen several posts from people who are doing, or maybe, yeah, I think it was there, where they're doing, the teacher is doing Zoom meetings, but instead of like it being a regular class, she's actually cooking for them in her kitchen and showing them how to do, you know, different authentic dishes. And she said that her students have really enjoyed that. So she's kind of cooking and being healthy, but at the same time sharing it with their students, which I thought was really cool. Oh, great. It looks like
I've been cooking, but for my students, but not being healthy.
That's fine. Sometimes you need comfort.
We did what was not healthy, but easy that a 4th or 5th grader could do. So we did tortilla española with, no lie, 5 ingredients.
Oh, wow.
Salt and pepper. Yeah, salt and pepper count as 1. And then we did the world's easiest taquitos.
Awesome.
Nothing but beans and cheese, and the beans came out of a can, already mashed. You know, all
so that's something too you could take. So like the idea of like wrapping up our year, staying sane while we're at home, but this is also something that we can like look ahead and do maybe as a Spanish club activity or after school activity. I do a Spanish club, and it used to be cooking club, but then my anxiety was too high once a week with elementary school children with knives. So now we do one cooking activity in the semester during Spanish club, but like we've done guacamole, where we've done pico de gallo, like super easy things, gazpacho, like things that are easy, but give them that kind of authentic culture to interact with too, which is great. Yeah. The chat is great. We've got walking, virtual connections, reading, Zumba. Jackie Van Houten, she is really pushing for like Zumba online for our fall conference, or salsa. She's like, we need to dance somehow during our fall conference in the target language, you know, yoga in the target language. Or Elena, if you know anyone who does like karate or taekwondo or something.
Taiso, the morning exercises.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was in Japan, I would remember being on the bus and driving by like companies, and everyone would be outside doing calisthenics, and I was like, what is happening? That's how you start your day.
Yeah, we could do Tai Chi for Chinese. Like I know for AP reading, when we go, all of the Chinese teachers get together on break and do Tai Chi, and the Japanese teachers get together and do like, it's this kind of like YouTube exercise. I don't know, that there's a woman that runs it, and it's really fun. I would love that.
Oh yes, that would be awesome. You do it for conference, and you can also do it with your students. So, you know, if you're, especially at the end of the year, because like, one of the things I'm doing for self-care is a virtual book club. Normally we meet once a month, and we don't really read books anymore, but we get together once a month and chat. But we've been doing it weekly, and we were joking the other day, like the last couple weeks of school, you know, it's kind of iffy on, rigor those last week or so, especially after K-Prep. And so they were like, one day's movie day, watch a movie with your family. One day's fun day, go outside and run up and down the block. But these are some ideas maybe you could make for your end of the year, like lessons, kind of make it a little bit lighter. So yeah, I love it. All right, so we're going to break out into groups and probably just for like 10 minutes or so, chat about how are you wrapping up the year, how are you surviving, and then the really important question I think is looking forward. Like, what are you going to take from this time and take back into the classroom with you? So, I mean, a lot of us have had to learn tech on the fly. We're, having to be a lot more creative and innovative than, we've maybe been before. It's pushed us out of our comfort zone. So what are the things from this time that you're like, I love doing this and I'm definitely going to keep it even when we're not stuck at home? So, let's see. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Fitbit challenge steps. So many great ideas in the chat. And I'll share the chat and the recording too. Trying to do 3 things at once here. Okay, breakout rooms. We have about 20 people. We're gonna put you in groups of like 3 or 4 so you can really have some good conversations, and then I'll bounce around from room to room. So when you get the invitation, just click OK. Otherwise, you'll just be hanging out with me in the room by yourself, the main room. All right, here we go.
Hi.
We meet again.
Hello. Hi, Elena. Hi, Alfonso.
Hi.
Hi.
So my students would be like, I was already in a group with him. Not too bad.
I wanna start the conversation by talking or asking about suggestions for not only students but teachers who are introverts or who are already on tough spots. And I'm saying this because I happen to know somebody who has had a pretty rough year, and going to class was actually one of those things that actually could lift this person up. I know that this person is going through a rough spot of not seeing the students, and not only that, also personal circumstances at home. We are talking about these ideas. We are talking about all these things that we are, like we could do, but sometimes it takes a lot of energy, both mental and physical, to actually get to do those things. So I was wondering if there's anything that we could put out there, or we could say to not just students, but also teachers who are not as extroverted as to jump to the swimming pool and do those things, but at the same time, those who are already on the brink or the edge, or if they are not there already, to do something and get them out of, snap them out of whatever they are in, I don't know, maybe this is just too much, but I don't want to leave anyone.
I know for me, I've had lots of highs and lows, and I think acknowledging that there are some days where I'm going to be productive and other days where I don't get dressed and I'm only slightly looking at my email. I did that last Wednesday. I was available. If someone had a question, I was going to answer the email, but I didn't get on Google Classroom. I didn't post anything new. I just kind of wallowed for the day, and that's what I needed. And then the next day I got up and I was ready to start again.
And that's okay. I don't know. As I said before, I guess I'm taking this from the thing that we are doing in my school with our students, that we are not leaving any student uncontacted, so to speak. We're making sure that everybody is, like, reach out at some point, like, are you okay? Are you well? What are you doing? Because in this type of situations, the isolation is probably the thing that gets most to you. You don't have your usual outlets to do things. So I don't know. As I said before, maybe this is me just taking this too much or something, or thinking too much. But it's just, I don't want to leave. Do not wish to leave anybody behind.
Yeah, no, I think we need to reach out to the people, everyone within our circle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's complicated because, for example, where I live, most of my kids, they don't have any access to technologies. So they struggle with that, and I try to do like a Google Meet with them or a Zoom meeting, and they don't even have like a laptop at home or a Chromebook or regular access to internet. So what they do, they try to meet to some of their classmate houses, and they share the technology with others. It's amazing what they are doing. It happened to me that they were like, if the meeting was like for 21 students, and in that house there were like 11 of them in that house were trying to meet as well. So sometimes I try to do like stupid things. Probably they are not that stupid, like dressing something weird, having dinner with my husband, and trying to have like a regular dinner that we have at home, and then asking feedback or asking questions about what they feel like, what we are eating at home or whatever, and it works as well. And this Friday we've got a meeting. It's like a crazy one. We have to wear something that we are going to prepare for the summer. We wear a hat, towel, and this works as well for the interpersonal mode of language, because they feel so ashamed during this time. They don't feel like talking. It's hard for them, but it works for me. This something that I do. Like sometimes I feel like crazy, stupid, but it works because it makes them to feel positive as well, and they answer back very quickly. What I used to.
Hey,
Hello.
I'm so sorry. My internet doesn't work just now.
Oh, that's okay. What do you know who you were with?
Yeah, I'm with I think it's group 2.
Okay, I will put you back in there.
Okay, thank you.
You should get an invite. Yeah, there you go.
Very rarely. It's like every 2 weeks I do a cooking show. I call it the cooking show.
Cooking show? Oh my God, we'll gain more weight.
So I do it twice. It's on every other Wednesday. At 1 o'clock, it's mostly English because they just don't have enough vocabulary to cook in Spanish. And then for my Spanish speakers at 3, it's almost all in Spanish. But, for the harder words, even for them, I'll go, okay, don't forget, blah, blah means this. So.
That's a great idea. So otherwise, are you also using Zoom? What are you all using for?
I wanted to ask what Loom is. I hadn't heard until just now.
Yeah, so Loom,
we have Google Meet, which.
Okay. So
Google Meet.
Yeah, Loom is LM, and basically it's a photo of you and your screen. So, for example, I've been doing Google Doc, what the weekly activities would be, and then I record myself explaining, and I can click on things and take them to other pages to show them what to cover, what to look at, what to listen to. And it's just a short recording of, so they see you and they see kind of what I'm expected to do. Makes sense.
Thanks. I'll check that out. Sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's just an extension of your Chrome, so it works pretty well because we're not doing live face-to-face, but we probably will be moving forward if we continue in the fall, and I don't know what that will look like.
We've done Google Meet just to connect and
Right.
have
Me
fun,
too.
and then we've done Quizlets online, but
Oh.
doing Quizlet live because just for fun. But
Okay.
that's something that's in addition to, and they come only if they want to.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I've done Kahoot live, but I haven't done.
Kahoot is harder because you have to have 2 devices. So Quizlet Live, you only need 1 device, and most of my kids have 1 device if they have any. So
we're going to be heading back to the main room here in a couple minutes. You got like 45 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want to share? Would you mind sharing about Loom when we get back? Do you want
me?
Yeah, is that okay? I mean, I can talk about it, but it's nice to hear other people's voices.
Yeah, yeah. And Jennifer, have you used Jamboard? I was wondering about that.
I haven't. Madeline Sexton, and she's not here today, but in Jefferson County, she presented on it this year at KWA.
At the conference or on this? Okay, I missed
this past
that.
year. Yeah, I didn't get. I don't think I went to it, but or no, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could always.
A little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't give you guys warning this time. We're a little ahead of schedule today, so we might be doing like two small groups if we've got time. And I'll promise not to put Elena with Alfonso. Just kidding.
Thanks. Thank you.
You tell. Now we want to know why.
Oh, when I popped in that room, she was like, my students would have complained that I've already been in this. You've already been in this group. That's what happens with random groups. Sometimes you're randomly placed with the same person twice. So does anyone want to share out what they kind of discussed in their group or something that was really great? Elena said no complaints. We're just picking on you and Alfonso. I didn't get around to all the rooms this time, just 2, but if anyone's got anything that they're loving or things that is working for you.
I love the idea of Yvonne's cooking show with her elementary school kids that she does every other week. That is really a great idea.
And if you're not comfortable doing your own cooking show, I'm sure you could probably find some and to share, or easy ones. I know in Spanish, like especially elementary even, there's like Master Chef Kids from Spain. There's this great old abuelita in Mexico from, I forget what her, I'll have to look it up and put it in the thing, but like, it's like old school cooking, and it looks amazing. Like from my kitchen to yours or something. But those are all great ideas. Oh, Christine found one of your exercise shows, Elena. That's another one. Exercise shows, things that, you know. And again, these are all things that you could like assign during the school year, even when we're not doing NTI, that are, you know, high interest and fun.
And you can teach first graders to cha-cha, in case you're wondering.
That's awesome. Yvonne, where are you at? What school?
Wilder Elementary.
What county is that?
Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Yay. Love to our elementary school teachers. Anybody else? Something that came up while you're talking?
Well, we just talked about using Loom because at my school right now, we're not I have a French hangout once a week and help session, so to speak. And then I have some scheduled face-to-face with my students, but we're not required to do, to teach face-to-face right now. So I'm using a lot of a program called Loom, Loom. And it's really nice because I can record myself so the students see me, and then go over like what I want them to listen to or watch, or record themselves, whatever activities I have that week. And so they can see me and hear me speak French, as well as kind of go through what's expected of them. So yeah.
Yeah, I actually just pulled mine up, so I'm going to share my screen really quickly. So this, can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you put it, it's a Chrome extension, so if I want to make one, I just click up here and it will start recording. But what's nice is once it's done, I have a video and I can post it to wherever, Google Classroom, I can put it on YouTube. And then this is me. Hola, amigo. So you can see I'm doing my greeting song, but I teach, this is for a first grade lesson, so I wanted to keep it like under 5 minutes. But then I actually read them this book. Okay. La Familia Calaca. Hola, soy Anita. So they're getting, they're first graders, so they can't read. I had kind of assigned this on, it's a site called Epic Books, which has free trial right now. And they've got books in different languages that you can assign. I think there might even be like a quiz option for some of them. Some of them actually come with the audio already. This one didn't, so which is why I used Loom, and I had myself reading it, which was really nice. So yeah, that is Loom. There's also Screencastify, which is similar, but the reason I picked Loom is that it actually has more free features for teachers right now. So yeah, Loom is good. And then the site I was on was called Epic Books, which is really nice. And I think moving forward in the future, especially at elementary, but I mean, I think middle school and high school too, like for me, advocacy is a big piece of this. Like I want support, parental support for my program. Otherwise, I'm the first on the chopping block. So if I can post a video like that, even once we're back in the classroom, to Class Dojo, or send it out so parents can see it, they can hand their kid the phone, here, watch this video. They're seeing what their kids are doing in Spanish class. And then I'm also increasing my minutes with them interacting in the language. So for me, it also sub plans. That was another one someone said, was like, all this stuff you're doing right now is like instant sub plans. Like, assign a video, put it in Google Classroom, and now you don't have to worry if whoever comes to your room doesn't speak the language, they're not, interested in doing what you left. You've got everything already prepared for subs. Anybody else want to share what they talked about? We also talked about self-care. I think a lot of people shared in the comments, but was there anything else that kind of came up? Don't be shy.
Well, for me, one thing I'm having trouble is wrapping my head around trying to use NTI if we have to start the school year like this, because we weren't given many days to even work toward getting something put out, and I'm learning as I go, but still trying to start the year with it is scary.
Yes. Yes. I agree. especially getting to know you. I think that's where the synchronous versus the asynchronous is going to be really key. Like getting to know kids, we're going to have to figure out how to have those synchronous.
Right. And I think it'd be really nice if KWLA could maybe regroup us by what language we're teaching. So we could, like, for example, I'm my own language teacher at my school. So for example, it'd be great, it was great to share with Sharon a little bit, 'cause she's doing French, like to kind of brainstorm what resources we're using and what kind of things. I mean, I know schools have different expectations, but I think, why reinvent the wheel? Like, that's what I feel like sometimes what's taking me so much time is I'm trying to find, like, okay, a fun song, or I'm looking for a site on a resource. I think it'd be neat to be able to kind of pool together by what we're teaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree, and that's why I'm here. And likewise, Jill, I appreciated having someone who was also teaching French, and I'm also the only language teacher in the county, a foreign language. So.
Yeah, gotta love those departments of one.
Well, I hang out with the English department, so that's fun.
Yeah, my team is the art teacher, the music teacher, the PE teacher, so.
Well, they had me in that team, and I politely requested to be with the English teachers because teaching language is teaching language, right? Mm-hmm. So it seemed like we had more in common, so that was a better fit.
Absolutely. Well, we actually, yeah, Jill, I totally agree. We need to organize something more intense, but if we like, we could break out by language now. We're a little ahead of schedule. So if we did like another 10 minutes, or is it thumbs up if you're interested, thumbs down if you're like, meh. Okay, that means that I'm gonna have to go through and assign you to rooms. So give me a moment to do this. Recreate manually. Oh, Lord.
I'm glad you're saying that out loud. It's helping. I'm taking notes.
Okay, yeah, so if you go down to breakout rooms, you don't have it now because you're not the host, but if breakout rooms, and then you can assign the different ones. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, so let's start with Japanese first. So we got Elena and Carrie. Please, anyone else jump in if you are Japanese. No? Okay, Elena and Carrie. There you go, girls. Ganbatte kudasai. Okay. Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry. Hold on. My bad. Okay, hold on. Okay. What on earth did I do? Okay. Sorry. Closing that room. I did not do that correctly. Okay. Does anyone know how I have to assign them all at the same time? Okay. My bad. Thanks for bearing with me. We have to wait like a minute while they come back out. I don't know how to get them back out. Okay. Who are my French teachers? I've got Sharon, Jill, anybody else?
Jacque.
Okay. Oh, Jackie, of course, yes. And then Chinese, I think, yes. Christine, okay. And then is everybody else?
Addison, I think Addison is French too.
Yeah.
Addison, you're French too? Okay. Sorry, guys, I messed up Elena and Carrie, my bad. We're gonna do this again. Okay, Elena and Carrie. Now I need, so just so you know, if you're doing this on your own, don't hit open all rooms until you've assigned them all. All right, Jackie, Jill, and Sharon. And then breakout room 3. Oh wait, Addison. You're right, I'm sorry. How do I add another person? Addison, there we go. Okay. Breakout room 3, Sean. Do my Chinese friends. Okay, we have 7 Chinese. Way to represent Chinese. Okay, and then Belen, Eli, Yvonne, El, Boone, and Pilar are all Spanish? Yes? Okay. All right, here we go. Now I'm gonna click open all rooms.
Well, what I try to do is like a regular class. So we need, they try to answer back in Spanish as well. Then, as I always use with my kiddos at the class, bell ringers with visual support. So try like to share that with them as well. Probably they feel a little bit shy, but then you keep on like encourage them to participate in the class, and they do it at the end. Yeah. We try to meet like three times a week. That's what we try to meet. It's complicated right here because they don't have like access to internet, no regular access.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long are your Zoom meets or your meets?
Like a regular class. We try to do regular class.
So is that every day?
No, like 3 times a week. 3 times, yeah. So to try to connect with the rest of the kiddos as well. This is like live classes, but then we also have assignments in Google Classroom. I try to share with them as well videos, music as well. So let's say like positive things that they feel like doing at home as well.
But how long is your class, like the regular class?
55 minutes.
Okay. So do they combine that they have a class and then extra activities outside?
Yeah, and what I usually do is like, they also are going to have in the Google Classroom screen Castify, that is going to be a short, more than, let's say, 10 minutes. So they are going to have a short review about the topic, if it is like reviewing the el verbo ser or el verbo estar. Then the assignment that they are going to do is basically what we have been working in the class. I haven't introduced any topic, a new topic, because they were like overwhelmed with this situation. So just reviewing the vocabulary, grammar, trying to practice a little bit the interpersonal mode of language, but not introducing anything new. We also have like the next day, they're going to find like attendance assignment. There is just questions that they have to answer, and they are going to be related to what have been working the previous session.
Sorry, my dog.
Oh, it's all right.
I feel like they're doing a lot less than they did when they were in class.
No.
No. At least in my case, I feel like they're doing a lot less than what I usually fit in a class period.
Yeah, that's right. They are doing less, but what we can do, we have to do our best and try to make them feel like comfortable with this strange situation that they have. At least it's a good way to to make connections with them.
Right.
I know. I agree with you that they are doing less things that they usually do in the regular setting of the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
We were told to, for our NTI, we were told to cut down our lessons to like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just because since we're not in class, would we be spending the whole time, you know, doing stuff on your own versus doing stuff with the class is totally different. So they said, try to think of how much time you actually spend on a topic without, now try to picture that without the students. So they told us to cut it down, all our assignments for each grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, to about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
No.
that's right, and I agree with you, but probably it's only going to be like 35, 40 minutes trying to talk about the topic of the class, reviewing, and then the rest we talk about different things. We try to make like a live conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we try to do, but no, obviously it's not going to be the whole session talking about the topic.
I know for me, I think about like when I'm in my classroom, how often do I switch activities and then just have less of those. So like my video lessons are no longer than 6 minutes because I'm pushing them out to kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade. And then I hate that I have to use English, but like I'm giving directions at the end of the video saying, okay, here's the activity, here's your challenge, and here's the website, and click here and then do this, because I'm not giving the directions to the kids so much as I'm giving the directions to the parents, because they're the ones that are, you know, and I've had friends say like, hey, I know you're a specials teacher and I'm sorry, but we're not even doing specials at my house. It's just too much. Like my kids would love to do all the art and Spanish and gym stuff, but like I'm just too busy and we're just getting done what we can get done. So that's my worry for when we go back in the fall is we're gonna we can't just go with survival mode anymore. It's gonna have to be how can we make this actually function. I feel like we've been in emergency survival mode the last 2 months, which is fine. Like it was a surprise, but if we have the summer to plan and think ahead, but that's also an administration decision too, you know, like that's not my decision necessarily.
I have a question, and that is, I just want to get a perspective on other places.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you're a fish, all you see is water. I want to know what other people see. You know, it's transparent to me. I don't even see the water anymore because I'm just a fish. But what percentage of your students are tuning in? Like my best participation rate is 5th grade, and that's half. The other ones are less.
My best,
like I don't mean show up all the time. I mean
like interacting with something
I've ever heard from them.
Oh, mine is kindergarten. Random, like my 5th graders are like, pfft. And maybe because I'm doing less, because I'm putting it more on Google Classroom. So it's possible that I've assigned things that don't require them, like a Quizlet or I don't know, like this website, watch this video. But like my 2nd graders have done 0 work. My kindergartners, I get the most because they have the most involved parents, and the parents are the ones sending me things, but it's not a lot. But
okay, so it's not just me.
No, and we told them it was optional. So as soon as we said this is at the beginning, I got more because we were like, okay, every day you have to do reading, math, and pick one special, and we gave them a choice board. Well, then they said back off. That's too much. So then specials became optional, and as soon as specials became optional, nobody did them anymore.
Yeah. I started with, let's say, probably 80%, 90% of participation of my kiddos, and now I've got like 60, 70%.
Yeah.
And it's this like Spanish too. Most of them are juniors, and it's like the class that I engage them from the very beginning during even my sessions, regular sessions. So
yeah, I think for the fall, if we're going to do this or some sort of like this plus in class, because I've heard like maybe it'll be like you go to school Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Friday, just to keep the class sizes small. Like we're going to have to A, not make it optional, and then B, like make it more of a flipped classroom where they have something they have to do outside online the days they're not in class, and then they come back and they're doing something with us, or, you know. And that was sort of the thinking too. Next week, our chat is going to focus on synchronous versus asynchronous. So that will definitely, I think, probably be what we're going to be doing in the fall. Is we're going to have some sort of mix of the two, whether it's completely online or in person and partly online.
And also, like assigning, they've got the control to check the attendance as well, especially with teenagers. If not, you are going to lose them.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and close this, but you'll have like a minute, so keep talking.
I know that once our superintendent says closing, our attendance or participation dropped off tremendously.
Yeah, I think that's normal across the state.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel bad. People are talking about, oh, all my kids are doing this. Even our music teacher, she's still posting stuff every day. And I'm like, Judy, nobody's doing it. Like, as soon as they stop doing it, well, I'm like, I'm not going to put a bunch of effort and make all these videos for only 3 people to watch. So like, I was asked to step back. I stepped back. Now, moving forward, I'm going to, you know, do more, but.
For my 6th and 7th graders, I was doing 2 assignments a week, just so that I would get something back for them. And
I think for me, I need something that they actually, like, just doing a Quizlet isn't enough. Like, there needs to be some sort of, now you turn it in, so I have visibility of who's doing what. I don't know.
World Language Instructional Lead for 6 years, this past 6 years, and just in January 1st, I retired. Probably the best time I could have picked.
I think so.
You have good timing.
Well, thank you for being here, even though you're retired. It's wonderful.
Sure.
Well, we only have a couple of minutes. We have 1 minute officially. So we do have some announcements from KWA. Alfonso was here earlier and had to jump off, but he wanted me to remind everyone to please nominate your colleagues for awards. We definitely want to recognize excellence in world language teaching across the state. So you nominate by your language and or NEL. If you know someone who's K-8, you can nominate them for the NEL award for early language teaching. We're also going to be sending out an email probably tonight that our fall conference is not canceled, but it is moving online. We were concerned about just whether or not people would want to be in large groups in September and just the uncertainty of it all. So we're moving that online and details will be coming, but please consider submitting proposals for online sessions.
And we should say there was also a strong financial consideration with that.
Yes, absolutely. It was not fiscally responsible of us to try and have this conference in person this year at the hotel. So
also there is an announcement from the regional reps to I don't have all my script here, but isn't it true we get until May 15th to become a member for $25? Is that right?
Oh no, it's free. You're a free member. It gets you from here until, normally membership runs September to September, so conference to conference. This will get you membership from now until 2021's conference.
New members.
Yes, new members.
And it's free?
Yes.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Until May 15th. And it gets you a discounted rate. Being a member gets you a discounted rate for the virtual conference in September. So it's a good deal.
Awesome.
So were there anything else? Addison, Christine, Jackie? All right. Well, we're going to be doing this again Thursday at 3 if you want to talk about the same topic. Next week, we're going to be discussing synchronous versus asynchronous learning activities. I know in our Spanish group, we talked about how that will probably be important in the fall because it's possible that we'll be doing a mix of in-person and online or all online still. So we don't know what the future holds. Yeah, so that's the plan for next week. Thank you all for coming.
Adios.
Thanks. Thank you. Adios.
Adios.
Ciao.
Ciao.
再见。
Au revoir.